My name is Jessica. Standing in the middle of the chaos at the opulent anniversary party, I watched as the room descended into pandemonium. The once jubilant atmosphere was shattered, replaced by gasps and screams. On the large screen, the cold, hard truth was playing, a video of my father, Robert, callously throwing my grandmother, Amelia, out in the rain. My mother, Victoria, laughed wickedly in the video, saying it would be cheaper if my grandmother died of pneumonia than to pay for her medicine. It all started a few days ago. I was living a simple life in my small, cozy apartment, working hard to make ends meet. My family, on the other hand, was living a facade of wealth. My parents, Robert and Victoria, were obsessed with status and appearances. They lived in a grand mansion in the upscale part of town, but it was all built on a mountain of debt. My brother, Ethan, was a self-proclaimed entrepreneur, always coming up with the next big thing but never actually making any money. One night, I received a call from my mother, Victoria. It was a rare invitation to dinner at their mansion. When I arrived, I noticed that they were in the middle of planning something big. Ethan wanted to start a new business venture, a high-end podcast studio, and he needed the downstairs suite, which was my grandmother Amelia's room. That same night, I left feeling uneasy. Little did I know that just a few hours later, at 4:15 in the morning, I would see the most heart-wrenching scene on my security camera. Robert dragged Amelia out of his luxury car and dumped her on my wet porch. Victoria threw 2 black garbage bags filled with Amelia's clothes beside her. I rushed to the door, but it was too late. Their car disappeared into the night. I brought Amelia inside, wrapped her in a warm blanket, and gave her a cup of tea. As I looked at her shivering form, I realized that I couldn't be the safety net for my family anymore. For years, I had been the one they turned to when they were in financial trouble. I remember the time when I had only $40 in my account, but I still sent $2,800 to Robert so he could keep his office lease. Meanwhile, Ethan was partying on a yacht, showing off his so-called success on social media. The next morning, I decided to take a stand. I canceled the recurring transfer to my father's account. When I went into the kitchen, I was shocked to see Amelia sitting upright, her eyes clear and focused. She pulled out a tattered old notebook from the garbage bag. It was a ledger of all the wrongdoings my parents and brother had committed against her over the past 5 years. They had stolen money, forged signatures, and lied to her about everything. Amelia then gave me a key to a safety deposit box at the local bank. There, I discovered that she was the real owner of the mansion my parents lived in and the office building where my father's business was located. My father was not only a deadbeat in his personal life, but also a delinquent tenant, not having paid rent for 90 days. We decided to expose them at their anniversary party. I sneaked into the ballroom's control booth, dressed as part of the catering staff. When my father, Robert, stepped up to the microphone to give his speech, lying about my grandmother being in a luxury care facility, I hit play on the video. The truth was out. Amelia walked in, flanked by the sheriff and her lawyer. She took the microphone and announced that she was the landlord and that this was an eviction, not a celebration. My father's business, assets, and accounts were seized. Ethan tried to run, but he was stopped. My mother collapsed in a dramatic fit. In the end, the fallout was immediate. My parents were evicted from the mansion within 24 hours. Their friends disappeared, and they ended up in a cheap motel. Ethan had to get a job as a barista. 2 months later, as I watched the rain from the penthouse balcony with Amelia by my side, she said softly, "We didn't lose a family. We evicted tenants who refused to pay their rent."